One thing the DC live-action universe has been missing was an alien scarab being thrown in the mix. Well, not anymore, since Jamie Reyes, the most famous iteration of the Blue Beetle character, is coming to the scene in his standalone movie, which will also mark another first for the DC universe, the first Latin superhero-led movie, and we think it was about time, especially since the movie has been put in development as early as 2018.
Here you go, officers. Time to put the toy man back on the shelf.
No fair, no fair, no fair!
With the HBO Max streaming platform posing as one of the major streaming services, we're not surprised that more and more projects, including TV shows and movies, are getting their spot there, which is also the case for the upcoming Blue Beetle movie from the DC universe. Warner Bros. Is starting to produce a number of projects as online exclusives, projects that include heroes from the DC Comics, with the Blue Beetle project being put in development since 2018, with anticipation about it skyrocketing through the roof as of late despite the news of the movie not having its theatrical release. Not being given the chance to become the blockbuster it certainly can, nevertheless, this is how things are standing right now for the Latin superhero Jamie Reyes, a subject that can change over the night as we're nearing its release date, which has been confirmed of being on the 13th of August, 2023.
As your profile expands, do you worry about increased scrutiny?
Nah, I welcome it. Let him watch.
Along with the release date, rumors started to spread that there's a high chance of the movie eventually having a theatrical release, with some people even going the distance of saying that is a done deal, something we could very well agree on, seeing all the hype that surrounds the movie. The people working on the movie are Angel Manuel Soto, who will serve as the director of the movie, along with Xolo Maridueña, best known for his role in the Cobra Kai series, and the one who'll also be portraying the titular character, Jamie Reyes, aka Blue Beetle. The last 6 months proved to be the most crucial ones for the project as it picked up a lot of pace, which is such good news to hear, knowing that outside of the signing of Xolo to portray the role back in August and the significant news we first got about the project during October's DC Fandom event, we heard nothing else outside of this. Given the release of August 2023, the whole production process is very likely well underway, which should also hint towards the fact that we'll be hearing more and more about one of the most anticipated DC movies in 2023. And before we move forward with the details regarding the cast, the plot, and the other important things, we'd like to share with you, what is all the hype? Who even is Blue Beetle?
You'll never catch me, Batman! Or you, weird flying kid!
My name is Blue Beetle!
Well, he's one of the more recent additions to the DC Comics lineup of heroes, and while he has been around for much longer than just a couple of years, since the 1940s, to be more precise, the name and identity of the character have been reinvented a couple of times by now, before finally reaching this current iteration of the character that will make his first live-action debut, a teenager named Jamie Reyes, who fights crimes thanks to an alien artifact that fuses with his spine, an alien scarab that he finds attaches to him, with him getting access to a very futuristic technology that engulfs him into a cocoon of sorts, and the Blue Beetle is born. The character has proven successful enough to star in several DC cartoons, however, we think the time is right for him to embrace us with his presence in the live-action DC universe, alongside the likes of Shazam, Black Adam, and even the Justice League. Because why not, right? One of the more interesting things about this movie, which is not very common for the movies of this sort, is the fact that many of the main cast members have not only been confirmed to be part of the movie, but also which roles they'll be filling. And on that note, let's go. As we said before, Xolo Maridueña will star as a titular character outside of his directorial duties towards the project. Then we have another quite familiar name from Hollywood joining the franchise, Susan Sarandon, who will be portraying the role of Victoria Court, the movie's main villain, seemingly an original character rather than one taken directly from the comics, with her name suggesting that she'll have some kind of connection to Ted Kord, who was another version of the Blue Beetle character. Raul Max Trujillo will portray the role of Conrad Carapax, the second villain of the movie, with Carapax's background known very well from the comics, an archaeologist who accidentally had his mind infused into the electronic brain of a robot, one of the most famous villains of Ted's version of the Blue Beetle. Then there's George Lopez, who'll portray the role of Uncle Rudy Reyes, with this signing marking his first appearance in the DC live-action universe. And as to which role he'll play as Reyes' uncle, we're still not quite sure, as Reyes' family as a whole was not very visible in the comics.
Really? That's the best you could do?
No. How's that, hermano?
Other cast members include the likes of Bruna Marquezine as Penny, Reyes' love interest, and Belisa Escobedo as Milagro Reyes, Jamie's younger sister, with Reyes' parents, Rocio and Alberta Reyes, being portrayed by Elpidia Carrillo and Demina Alcazar respectively. The latest addition to the cast group saw Harvey Guillén joining in with his role still not known, with rumors suggesting that he'll play a key role in the events to come. And while we're here, let's see what the plot of the movie could be, seeing how not many details have been shared about it.
Blue Beetle, a moment.
For the famed Cat Grant, I'm at your service. Heck, I'm at everyone's service.
The strangest thing about the Blue Beetle movie is that despite the fact of being in development ever since 2018, writer Gareth Dunnett Alcocor has been as tight-lipped about plot details as ever. However, seeing how it's the first for the character to debut in the live action, we should be getting an origin story to some extent, with other details surely depending, maybe even too much on the notion of just how close will Gareth stick to the source material. Assuming that he uses Jamie's first adventure as a blueprint, then we'll see a snippet of a gigantic miniseries event, where Jamie is recruited by Batman and the ever-humble time traveler Booster Gold to fight the rogue AI Brother Eye and its army of OMAC androids. A plot thread that seems quite plausible, seeing how the movie has already announced Trujillo in the role of Conrad Carapax, with him being the rogue AI at hand. Of course, this is a pure speculation on our side, so don't take our word for it just yet, a speculation based on the comic book canon, with the movie's plot showing us a completely different story if we're judging by just how different the DC universe has been over the couple of years.
You got a picture, right? That's so cool!
The other interesting detail we wanted to tell you about is the legacy connection that could occur in the movie now that Sarandon is cast as Victoria Cord, a rather familiar family name in the DC Comics that is connected to the Blue Beetle character, a connection that will probably play a huge role in the events to come. This whole thing came from an amazing concept that was shown at DC Fandom, a segment that was hyped up nicely from the people working on the movie, with not one but two heroes being featured in the movie, both Ted Kord and Jamie Reyes, with the latter taking on the spotlight throughout the movie, and Ted being sort of like a mentor to him because he has gone through the same thing beforehand. On a related note, tell us down in the comments below, now that you've heard more about the movie, what are your thoughts about it? Do you think the character has what it takes to be a huge success moving forward? And what about the wider DC universe and its expansion? Where do you see Jamie's Blue Beetle persona could fit into all of it? But also don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.